Zoe Saldana plays Cataleya, and Cataleya does not miss. Every weapon she carries in this film has a story. But one of these props hides a secret that connects Colombiana to one of the most beloved action movies ever made. And the filmmakers tried to keep quiet about it for years. There is also a rifle in this film issued to an army that hasn't fired a shot in anger in over 2 centuries. And it may be the most over-engineered military weapon ever put on screen. But first, we need to talk about the pistol that defines her arsenal. Because what you are about to find out is stranger than anything on screen. Cataleya's personal sidearm throughout the film is the Beretta PX4 Storm, a sleek Italian polymer-framed pistol that becomes as recognizable as the character herself. Suppressed and holstered, it is the weapon she reaches for first, and it stays with her through most of the film's kills. The PX4 Storm was introduced by Beretta in 2004 and uses a rotating barrel system borrowed from the older Beretta Cougar line, which reduces muzzle climb and keeps the gun flat on target during follow-up shots. Beretta designed it so that it is physically impossible to reassemble incorrectly after a field strip, an unusual safety feature that made it genuinely popular with law enforcement. The original factory sights were coated in super luminova, giving them up to 30 minutes of glow after any brief exposure to light. Despite solid reviews, it largely flew under the radar, overshadowed by striker-fired competitors, earning it a cult following among enthusiasts who call it Beretta's best-kept secret. The PX4 Storm kept Cataleya alive through most of this film, but there is a second Beretta waiting in the closing act. In the final shootout, both Cataleya and Marco end up holding the same prop, the Beretta 92. It has a brief but charged appearance, and the gun is immediately recognizable from its rounded, streamlined slide and integrated accessory rail along the dust cover. The 92 was released in 2006 as Beretta's attempt to modernize the legendary 92 series. It introduced wraparound grip panels, a snag-free slide, and a fully integrated Picatinny rail hidden under a cover when not in use. By 2012, Beretta had discontinued it entirely, having failed to win a single major military or police contract. Despite that commercial failure, the 92 was the first Beretta pistol ever to be designed using full 3D CAD modeling, a quiet milestone in the company's 500-year history. The Beretta 92 closes out the pistol work in Colombiana, but the most outrageous handgun in this film belongs not to the hero, it belongs to the target. When Cataleya's primary target finally appears on screen, he wields not one, but 2 Desert Eagles, the most visually dominant pistol ever put on film. A brazen status symbol chosen for presence over practicality. The Desert Eagle's gas-operated rotating bolt, borrowed directly from semi-automatic rifles, is what makes it capable of firing the .50 Action Express, the largest centerfire cartridge ever used in a magazine-fed semi-automatic pistol. Manufacturing was handled for years by Israel Military Industries, giving it a dual identity that confused shooters for decades. The gun has appeared in over 600 films, and according to Magnum Research's own chairman, the company actively solicited prop houses to get it on screen. At roughly 2 kilograms unloaded, the Desert Eagle weighs almost the same as 3 Glock 17s combined, making it one of the least practical sidearms ever carried by a movie villain, which is precisely the point. The double Desert Eagles belong to the man Cataleya is hunting. The weapon she dual wields to hunt her parents' killers carries far more rounds and is considerably more dangerous. When Cataleya needs to move fast and hit hard, she reaches for the Mini Uzi, tearing through the film's final act with the kind of efficiency the weapon was genuinely designed for. The Mini Uzi was introduced in 1980 and its shorter bolt pushed the rate of fire to somewhere between 950 and 1,200 rounds per minute. The magazine feeds through the pistol grip, a design innovation that allowed soldiers to reload by touch alone in total darkness. From 1961 until the early 1990s, the United States Secret Service carried Uzis as their standard submachine gun. When President Reagan was shot in 1981, Secret Service agent Robert Wanko pulled one from a briefcase to cover the presidential limousine. Despite its compact size, the Mini Uzi is only about 100 grams lighter than the full-size original. Most of the size reduction came from shortening the barrel and receiver, not from stripping weight. Cataleya moves through the film with Israeli hardware at close range. The men hunting her carry something German, built specifically to beat a legend. The FBI agents pursuing Cataleya stack up with HK-UMP 45s in the raid sequences. The blocky, polymer-heavy submachine gun, Heckler & Koch, designed specifically to crack the American law enforcement market. Heckler & Koch introduced the UMP in the late 1990s as a cheaper, lighter successor to the MP5. It was conceived first in .45 ACP because the MP5 was never chambered in that caliber, and American agencies had a strong preference for it. Despite being a genuine improvement in cost and weight, the UMP never outsold the MP5. What most people do not know is that the UMP's polymer lower can be reconfigured for left-handed operation in the field without tools. An unusually practical feature for a military submachine gun of that era. The UMP-45 is built to win American contracts. The next prop in Colombiana comes from a country that hasn't fought a war in over 2 centuries, and it shows. When Cataleya needs reach beyond pistol range, she picks up a SIG SG-551, a lean, high-quality carbine fitted with a quad rail, vertical foregrip, and aim-point sight. It looks exactly like what it is, a weapon built by a country that takes its engineering very seriously and has had 2 centuries of peace to perfect it. The SG-551 is the carbine variant of the 5.50, the standard assault rifle of the Swiss Army. Switzerland adopted it in 1990 after a development process that began in 1978, replacing a battle rifle that fired a completely unique Swiss cartridge no other nation used. The translucent polymer magazines are molded with interlocking studs so soldiers can clip 2 together for faster reloads, a feature Swiss engineers added because Alpine troops sometimes needed to operate in heavy winter gloves. What makes the SIG 551 genuinely fascinating to gun enthusiasts is that it is essentially a hybrid of the 2 most iconic rifles of the Cold War. The gas piston system, rock and lock magazine insertion, and reciprocating charging handle are pure AK-47, while the safety selector and ergonomics are pure AR-15. Switzerland looked at both sides of the Iron Curtain, took the best parts of each, and built something better than either. The SIG 551 is Swiss precision in carbine form. The final prop in Colombiana is German precision in sniper form, and it carries the biggest secret in this entire film. When her apartment is raided, Cataleya pulls a Blaser R93 tactical from an air vent and fires a single round through a distant window. A message, not a kill. It looks nothing like a hunting rifle, which is precisely what it started life as. The Blaser R93 was designed in Germany in 1993 as a modular hunting rifle. Its straight-pull bolt moves directly rearward, allowing faster follow-up shots without breaking cheek weld. The scope mounts to the barrel rather than the receiver, meaning the zero holds even after the barrel is swapped, making it one of the most practically modular precision rifles ever built. The tactical variant takes that modularity further. The entire barrel and sight assembly can be removed and reassembled in under 60 seconds. And the bolt uses a 14-lug radial collet that automatically centers the cartridge upon chambering. A level of engineering precision that helps explain why law enforcement and military units across Germany, the Netherlands, and Australia eventually adopted it. And here is the secret planted at the start of this video. Colombiana was never meant to be its own film. Luc Besson originally wrote the script as a direct sequel to Léon, the Professional, following a grown-up Matilda working as a professional cleaner. A rights dispute with Gaumont blocked the project for over a decade, and Besson eventually stripped every direct reference and rebuilt it around a new character named Cataleya. The Blaser R93, precise, modular, disassembled and hidden in plain sight, may be the most fitting prop in the film. It is a weapon that became something else entirely from what it was designed to be, which is exactly what Colombiana is. Zoe Saldana doesn't leave her weapons expertise at Colombiana. Her role in Lioness puts her behind an entirely different class of hardware. And the real story behind those weapons is just as surprising as anything in this film. That video is on this channel right now.